Maybe we've bitten off more than we can chew. Maybe we've slightly jumped the gun a little bit of ourselves. Maybe it was a bad idea to imprison one of our best colonists for for just so long that we've become so far behind on everything. Maybe it was a bad idea to take on another 3-4 slaves without actually having the means to look after them. Maybe it was a bad idea. Or maybe we're future-proofing. Welcome to the Sanguophage Survival Series, episode 4. And today, we actually need to get on and finish things. Last episode, we took on so many slaves, so many projects have been started that we're now really far behind as where I wanted to be at this stage. Jezebel's castle is nowhere near to be finished. We're still living in a hut, basically. And our leader, Jezebel, seems to actually have worse living conditions than the slaves and the prisoners, which probably isn't really how it should be. So I think the plan for today was going to be pretty much just to focus on building and everything, not start too many projects and just get stuff done. So if you enjoy any of today's episode, or excited to see Smelly return to us as a newfound ogre vampire hybrid, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. Let's get into things, and let's start by finishing off this castle. So we now have several colonists that can gain expertise: Solus, Morgan, Thorgan, Wharton, Apocalypse, and Jezebel. Morgan, Thorgan, Worgen, your specialization is mining. So we put Storch, who also can get specialization in mining. Let's have one go for just... Maybe we just go for both of them to have yield. I think that's probably the best bet, so we can maximize how many resources we can get. So Thorgan is going to go for a specialization and have it for yield. And I think Storch, who's going to eventually also have a specialization in mining, will also get him to go for yield as well. Apocalypse, his expertise is currently in melee. Now, we're not actually going to be able to make much use of Apocalypse during this series because he'll just die from Goji's deficiency because I don't know how to fix him otherwise. So his specialization, eventually I'd like to put him in construction, so I'm going to leave him for the time being. Jezebel, we're waiting for something better to come up for her. And Solus is very interesting because there's several things I'd like to potentially specialize him in. Construction might be a very good one to have him build everything for Jezebel. Cooking is not so much. Herb law, nah, not really. Animal handling, nah. We're going to go for construction, I think. And I think if we get him to go for something quality rather than have it so it's just quick, I think quality would be far better. And a monster raid has turned up. A group of dungeon monsters banded together and attacking the colony. Ah, it's a spectre. Is that it? Oh, and a rust monster. Well, no, this shouldn't be an issue for Solus and Jezebel, I hope. But if it is, then we're not for a good time. Once again, I'm going for the good old cheese tactic of standing at an open door and hoping that we can deal with this. Yeah, easy peasy. Jezebel managing to 1v1 the big-eyed testicle. She's doing a very good job of it. Perfect. And conversion. Jezebel tried to convert Storch to a religion and has been done. Perfect. A brain eater will soon become a slave. You love to see it. And Smelly has decided to go on a sadistic rage. Smelly has hit a breaking point and desperately needs an outlet. So now they're just going to beat up Storch. Like, oh, is he going to kill Storch? What are you doing? You're just wondering now. Okay, you're just wondering. Okay. I thought he was going to kill Storch. I was going to get really sad then. Well, actually, no. Smelly isn't going to kill Storch. He's going to rip off his leg. You've basically killed the man. So Jezebel's castle has now had the outside walls all complete. We can now assign the different towers for different jobs. So I've already got one assigned here to be Jezebel's bedroom. We're going to have the main corridor here is the sort of where she's going to have her throne. And they have 4 other ones, not including, this is going to be where she's going to have a bath at some point. Like a sauna thing, I think. So this one's going to have her bedroom in it. We should probably have one for incapacitated slaves to feed off of. Another one maybe for Solus as a spare bedroom for when they have arguments. And maybe one for her death rest stuff. That sounds like a good idea. And Smelly's resistance has finally got down to 0. It has taken a longer time for this to drop. And Jezebel finally gets her own bedroom. We haven't yet researched furniture. So she has a little sleeping bag and that's about it. But she now has somewhere better than just sleeping in the stockpile room. And there we are. Storch has been enslaved. It's a shame that he's currently down and out because he's had his leg taken off. But hey, another slave to add to the collection. Collection? I feel like using the word collection for all my slaves is not really ideal. And there we are. Smelly has been recruited. Our first colonist that we've actually been able to recruit and use to add to the collection. It's just not a collection, is it? So Smelly is a vampire, obviously, so we'll need to drink and feed on people as well. I'm not sure how powerful she actually is as well. This is the thing. If I look at your melee damage out of curiosity, what is it? Your melee DPS is 9.2. Jesus Christ. And that's without a weapon, by the way. 9.2 is insane. She is going to be so strong. It's ridiculous. And I've also just quickly looked. She has a fertility of 9%. And you're not meant to be able to have children as a vampire. See, look, if we click on Jezebel, she has a fertility of 0. We could potentially start a breeding program for vampires at a very, very low chance. Now that's exciting. I think we can now go back into the research. So the research projects we've got: alchemy, carrier birds, and cement making. This unlocks alchemy, which leads to the advanced research bench. Interesting. Carrier birds, I think, is the equivalent of a comms console in like actual Rimworld. Cement making for cement. Let's grow for alchemy, just so I can grab a better research bench. And I decided to re-equip Smelly with some better armor as well. I haven't quite got her a helmet yet, but we've upgraded her with some steel heavy halberd, which I think is good. I think it gives better armor than what she had before. Not nearly as powerful as she could be, but Smelly will one day trump every character I've ever had in Rimworld. Now we are working on the flooring for the castle. It's going to take some time because we're building it all out of these sandstone blocks. They're not the most pretty looking, but they fit the theme very nicely. I think we should start working on the town and what jobs we give people. For example, Hop, Horn, Bean, and Adler, they both are very much plant orientated, so maybe we can build like a couple of farms. That could be nice, and have them live out on their farm, and they have their own crops, they have their own things. I think if we do that for Adler first, because she needs the Pollock stuff, and she's very upset because she had no waste packs at all. We maybe have like an area for her to have her pollution. That could be quite nice. So like she have her Pollock's bush up in this corner here, and then we surround it with like the toxic potatoes and things that you can grow. Could be a cool idea. I've grabbed Adler. I'm going to get her to put down her Pollock's bush just kind of in the middle of this area here. And there it is. A Pollock's bush. Oh, it absorbs pollution. It doesn't produce pollution, it absorbs it. Right. Well, Adler, I've got no idea what I'm going to do with you. I don't know how to produce pollution otherwise. So I've planned out a small little house out here. This is going to be Adler's area up here. I'll probably put like a fence around it as well, so we know exactly where her things are going to be. Try kit it out nicely. I know I thought that she was designed for evil pollution things, and it turns out she's anti-pollution, but maybe she becomes evil because she hasn't been able to feed on enough pollution. Maybe because she's become so good at eating pollution that because she can't get any more pollution, she's angry. I'm really clutching at straws here. Right, I've now renamed Adler's farm to Adler's abode. Adler's lone little shack, and then they're going to be farming things all around it. It's going to look real good. This is going to be her area, the farm that she's going to be providing to the economy. We love you, Adler, even though you will become evil. I'm going to make sure that I can find a way to make you turn evil. So I finished planning out Adler's abode. It's just a basic farmhouse with a few little fields here, and then we can have maybe like, I don't know, a pen for some ducks or something, you know. Real nice, wholesome stuff. At the moment, I can't, unfortunately, plant anything because we are in the middle of a drought, but we'll get around to doing that at some point. But unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, Apocalypse isn't going to last very long. It has now got to a point where his Go Juice dependency has been active for 30 days and is now in a permanent coma. So because we can't give him these drugs, he's just going to die. We have 30 days for him to consume Go Juice before he gets back up, and I don't think he's going to be able to. I think we need to cut our losses with Apocalypse and kill him. We need to mercy kill him. Apocalypse, I'm doing this for your own good, okay? It's not that I don't want you to stay with us. It's more a case of you're going to just cost us a lot of issues at the moment. So we're going to strip you, and we're just going to drain the life out of you. We're going to make the most of you as best as we can. Blood feeding on Apocalypse will kill him. Are you sure? Confirm. Jezebel's doing this for your own good, Apocalypse. Death, Apocalypse. R.I.P. Apocalypse. And interestingly enough, nobody's actually particularly upset that Apocalypse died. In fact, most people are happy that Apocalypse died. My rival Apocalypse died. My rival Apocalypse died. My rival Apocalypse died, you know? I think actually killing off Apocalypse was for the good of the colony. I've done a good thing. And a raid from House Oswin as well, and they are attacking immediately. Usually I'd probably be quite worried about this, but Smelly has returned to us. Is anybody outside the walls? Yeah, Adler is. Adler, get inside. We're going to do the good old classic of cheesing this massively by standing in front of the door. First ones are making it in. Imagine going through a door, then just seeing a vampire ogre stood there, waiting to get you. And the subjects from House Oswin are fleeing. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And a quest has become available. Beggar's request for alms. Now, we are not actually charitable this time round. Who would have thought it by all these slaves, you know? We're not charitable. Interesting. Do we want to just steal these beggars by any chance, you know? Are any of them any good? Ooh, interestingly, one of them isn't too bad. Coco here. 7 in archery, 8 in melee, 9 single passion in crafting, but is a smith, so will smith a lot quicker. And she is sanguine and tough as well. Very, very good traits and not too bad stats if we play into the fact that she's going to be crafting. But you know what, Jezebel, you need another slave. We could arguably also beat up the other ones and use them as blood bags, which is also not a bad idea. Smelly, take out Gonzalo. Don't kill him. Just... Oh, you killed him. Go get the next one. Amelia. That's it, Smelly. Don't kill Amelia. Just maim her. Nope, you've just straight up killed her. Well, fair enough. And there we are. Coco is in here. This is going to be our new prisoner room, I've decided. We'll use this as like a prison room. And then when we can build like a area for prisoners to actually live, this will be like an overflow for blood bags, which is what I'm going to start calling the prisoners that will take their legs off and use them as blood bags. So with Jezebel's castle, you know, it's kind of halfway finished. We're just waiting to do the flooring at the moment. I think we could start planning out the expanse to the rest of the base. We've done Adler's farm. I think we'll probably build like another farm, maybe on the opposite side here, or maybe slightly below Adler's abode, and then build like one with all of this fertile soil here for Hornbean. So what should we do with it? I think we go for the limestone again. I actually do quite like it. I don't think I am going to go for the double layered wall like I initially planned on doing, just because I've built Adler's abode and I don't want to have to redo that all. So if we just build it so it kind of goes down into this section here where we can have the township, I think that would be good enough. There you go. So the expansion gives us quite a large amount of space to build a town. It means that we can have this as the entrance to the castle up here, and have like a road that leads down, maybe go down into this corner here. We can have it go on either side. We can have it wherever we want. Once that's built out, it's going to look lovely. I'm going to cancel a lot of it for the time being and just forbid it so we can finish off the castle first. A raid from the House Hesse again. And they've also been landed on by a load of meteorites as they've attacked us. Interesting. So we've got some adamantium, iron, granite, gold, and jade just landed on top of them as well. So there's now only 5 because one of them has been squashed. With okay, well, once again, I'll probably cheese this quite hard. And they always the subjects from House Hesse are already fleeing. I mean, I would have fled immediately as well if some of my friends got squashed by meteorites. And we have 1 survivor, Val. Val is 10 in archery, 3 double passionate in cooking, 5 critical passionate in social, psychopath, pyromaniac, which really isn't ideal, trigger happy, and herder. You know what? We haven't got any blood bags yet, so we are going to capture Val and we're going to take off her legs. And she will be indentured as a blood bag for life. What? Death. Adler. Adler expired and a mimic has been revealed. Are you actually joking? I built you a bedroom. I built you your own home and you betray me like this. I cannot believe you've done this to me. Attack the mime. I built her own thing. I was going to have a whole... Oh, That hurts, that does. That hurts a lot. This hurts, like, a lot. The fact that we've lost Adler and is now... I should have guessed. I should have guessed it was too good to be true. Smelly. Finish off the mime. So annoying. Looking at the prisoner options as well, we can actually just select Blood Farm. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to select Blood Farm, and that'll be it. That is your life now, Val. So Adler's abode is no more. Hop Horn Bean's abode is going to begin, but Hop Horn Bean is slightly too long of a name, and I'm going to keep getting my words mixed up. You are going to become Hops. And we managed to we planted that Pollux bush as well. I guess we just have to cut that down, and what we'll do is replace it with the Garanlan pod, which is just there. We plant the Garanlan tree up here. There we go. So Val has now had both of her peg legs installed, so let's just remove the legs. Conversion. Jezebel has converted Coco as well. Perfect. So now we can work on enslaving Coco and use her for crafting. I think at the moment she will literally be used to make stone blocks, and that'll be it. But hey, anything's better than nothing. So I've now assigned Hops to plant the Garanlan tree as well. We are going to have Garanlan people everywhere. Dryads, left, right, and center. And there it is, our Garanlan tree. Perfect. And Coco has also been enslaved. Perfect. And Hops can now get her specialization in planting as well. So now that we have got a Garanlan tree, I think I am going to go for the pruning speed. Hops will become the most powerful slave that we have. Connecting her to the Garanlan tree, getting as many Dryads as possible, she could become a force to be reckoned with. A potential new colonist in the making, potentially. And a Garanlan tree connection has been formed. Pruning. Perfect. But, as we know, Hops is a Garanlan kind, which means they have a Garanlan affinity, giving a plus 100% pruning speed, which is perfect, you know? This is, like, absolutely fantastic. What Dryads do we want to make? Holy, there's a lot. Holy. Let me go through them and see which ones I think we might want. Okay, so I think the ones that we want to go for in the long run will be the Chunker Dryads. These produce steel every 2 days, which is huge, right? Huge for a colony that will be very dependent on steel for making armor and weapons and everything. But in the meantime, I honestly think we could just go for Carrier Dryads, just so we have things moving around, getting things put in all the right places. Get some Carrier Dryads, potentially work with some Chlorite or Bark Skins as well to help with fighting. All the other ones that are very good as well, just not what we need at the moment. Another ability that the Garanlan kind have with Hops is that they can summon Companion Dryads. Now, I looked at this and I just kind of thought that it just was a temporary thing. After reading it, which is always a good thing to do, it turns out these are permanent. But they can only be summoned once every quadrum, okay? But we can't summon anymore till the 2 ones that we've summoned have died. But these can haul, they can clean, they can be caravanning animals. They're permanent. These Dryads are ours. They can just... Oh my god! Look at him! Oh my gosh. Look at how cool he is. Hops has got the just most perfect friends. Summonable at will. And there we are. Alchemy has been complete. This has taken a long time. But next, bronze working, adorned armor. Those look really cool. Or spirit bush. So we'll go for that one and treat it as a reroll. Disease, malaria. 3 of the tribes people have gotten sick from malaria. Storch, Hops, and Val. So Val now has malaria. She's not got any legs. She's also being used as just a blood bag for all of our vampires. Val, you're not in a good situation, are you? So now that we've got Hops' Dryads as well, I don't think we actually want to go for the Carrier Dryads. I think instead we go straight to the Chunkers to get these steel ingots. I think that's probably what we want to do instead. Spirit Brush Sewing has been complete. Next, plant props, Gajalaka equipment. Or bronze workings. We'll go for this one just because it is a nice, cheap one. And Smelly has started a social fight with Jezebel. That our 2 vampires going at it with each other. Do you two honestly not like each other? Yeah, they do. They are. They're friends. Why are they beefing with each other? And there we are. Jezebel's castle is now pretty much completed. I mean, in terms of when I say completed, I mean the floors are done, the walls are done. We just need to fill it. I think we're going to call it there as a result, because next episode we can now focus on doing the rest of the town and starting filling everything out and making it all look fantastic. This episode's been fantastic for progress though. We've got picked up another slave in Coco. We've now got our first blood bag ready there. Smelly's joined us, and I think next episode we can aim to get Hops turned into a vampire and recruited. Progress was unfortunately stunted by Adler and Apocalypse leaving us and dying, but that's their own fault. I will stand by that. Otherwise, it's been a great episode. So if you have enjoyed today's episode, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.